Take this opportunity as Umkhonto weSizwe to state without any fear of doubt or contradictions by all measures and standards, President Jacob Zuma is the most successful president and head of state that South Africa has ever had. We are stating this fact not out of emotions or excitement, but through verified statistical data.
Here's the script with Thwala and Etwala replaced by Phadi. The MK Party, a relatively new force that has certainly made its mark, appears to be unraveling from the inside. And at the very epicenter of this unfolding storm is none other than Dr. Hlophe, a figure once hailed as the party's indispensable legal brain, the man who would navigate them through the treacherous waters of South African jurisprudence. But now, he's being publicly discarded, unceremoniously thrown under the bus by the very men who brought him into the fold, former President Jacob Zuma. It's a classic political maneuver, but one that leaves us with more questions than answers. It all began with a court battle. The party lost a critical legal case, and fingers immediately pointed to one man, the then Deputy President, Dr. Hlophe. The narrative quickly solidified, he was to blame. The critical error. Dr. Hlophe, a former judge with a reputation for legal acumen, had, according to reports, hired a new legal team to represent the party, and he did so without the explicit blessing or even the prior knowledge of Jacob Zuma. The result, we are told, was a profound humiliation and public embarrassment for the fledgling party. Zuma, in what many observers see as a swift move to distance himself and the party, didn't mince his words. In an official affidavit, a sworn statement presented to the court, he laid the blame squarely at Hlophe's feet. He claimed Hlophe changed lawyers without informing him, the party president, or the Secretary General. This unilateral decision, Zuma asserted, led to a massive blunder, a procedural misstep that allowed an expelled member, Mary Phadi, to be reinstated by default judgment. But let's pause for a moment and consider the dynamics at play here. Isn't the very role of a deputy president, particularly one entrusted with such a critical portfolio as legal affairs, to make executive decisions when necessary? Why appoint a seasoned legal mind like Dr. Hlophe to such a prominent position if he's expected to ask for permission before every single move, even seemingly administrative ones like engaging legal counsel? This raises a critical question: was this really about a breach of legal protocol, a genuine oversight on Hlophe's part, or was there something deeper at play? The MK Party is now unequivocally accusing Hlophe of derailing their legal case, portraying him as an incompetent or even rogue actor. But what if this entire situation was a calculated move? What if it was a prearranged strategy to sideline him? What if this mistake, whether genuine or fabricated, was merely the excuse they needed to remove him from a position of influence, to clear the path for other agendas? In the opaque world of political power struggles, such machinations are not uncommon. One has to wonder if Dr. Hlophe, in hindsight, was simply an unwitting pawn in a much larger game, set up for a fall. Indeed, there's more at play here than just legal mishaps and procedural errors. According to various reports from within the MK Party and close observers, the factional battles within its leadership are intensifying at an alarming rate. Dr. Hlophe, once a trusted confidant and a key figure, now shunned and publicly rebuked, is just the latest casualty in what appears to be a growing internal war for control and direction. Even more confusing, and frankly, contradictory, are the actions of Jacob Zuma himself. Reports indicate that Zuma had previously met with Mary Phadi after her expulsion from the party and, astonishingly, reportedly encouraged her to continue working for the party. Yet, now, he's publicly supporting a fresh application to have her removed again. So, what exactly changed? This abrupt shift in stance begs for an explanation. Is Zuma playing both sides, attempting to appease different factions within his party? Or is he struggling to maintain control over a political entity that is clearly, and increasingly, divided? This inconsistency in leadership suggests a party grappling with internal cohesion, where directives are not always clear, and allegiances appear to be shifting like desert sands. The picture that emerges is one of a leadership in flux, and a party struggling to present a united front. Dr. Hlophe was initially introduced to the public and the party supporters as the legal backbone of the MK party, the strategic mind that would ensure their legal standing and protect their interests. Now, he's being painted in starkly different colors, depicted as the man who single-handedly destroyed their legal credibility and brought about public embarrassment. The party leadership is eager to distance itself from him, and fast. It's a textbook case of political damage control, where one individual is sacrificed to protect the collective image. Some commentators argue that Hlophe did indeed make a mistake, perhaps by hiring an inexperienced legal team or by not following internal party protocols meticulously. Others, however, argue that he was simply trying to do the right thing, to separate Zuma's often complex and personal legal matters from the broader legal interests of the party. But regardless of the true intention or the exact nature of the error, if any, the damage is undeniably done. Instead of adopting a stance of collective responsibility, instead of saying, we, as a party, made a mistake and will learn from it, the MK leadership has chosen to lay all the blame, unequivocally, on one man. That level of public disloyalty, that willingness to scapegoat a prominent figure so readily, says more about the internal workings and the cutthroat nature of the party than it does about Dr. Hlophe's alleged missteps. It suggests a culture where blame is easily assigned, and solidarity is quickly abandoned. And just when you thought this situation couldn't get any messier, because in South African politics, there's always another layer, old accusations have resurfaced, adding a troubling dimension to the unfolding drama. Mary Phadi, the very individual who fought so hard to be reinstated into the party, had previously accused Dr. Hlophe of making inappropriate advances. She claimed that the subsequent political fallout, including her initial expulsion, was in fact a personal retaliation from Hlophe, rather than being solely based on official party matters. Dr. Hlophe has, for his part, vehemently denied these claims. What's particularly noteworthy, however, is the subsequent silence from the MK party on the matter. They have conspicuously gone quiet on these serious allegations. The timing of these accusations resurfacing, coinciding with the public fallout and legal battles, and the party's subsequent silence has many questioning the real reasons behind this dramatic legal and political implosion. Are there hidden motives, personal vendettas, or unresolved issues lurking beneath the surface of this official narrative of legal incompetence? The lack of clarity only fuels speculation and raises concerns about accountability and transparency within the party. The MK party is in disarray. Jacob Zuma, the party leader, is issuing affidavits publicly blaming his own deputy president. Dr. Hlophe is being unceremoniously scapegoated, left to fend for himself in the court of public opinion. Mary Phadi, despite the party's efforts, is still standing, having achieved reinstatement through legal channels. And the court dates, the legal challenges, and the internal squabbles keep piling up, painting a picture of a party consumed by its own internal struggles.